What?
We're live now.
Whoa!
Okay, no, we're recording.
So anyways, I was telling our guest...
Don't say his name.
That I may have met him, but usually when we meet comics, it's in darkness.
Yeah.
In these dingy nightclubs. There are people I've never seen in daylight that I've known for 10 years.
I'm the
just
same
in
way.
The dark.
I'm the exact same way. Welcome. This is your episode of Your Mom's House, and it is brought to you by our good friends at Amazon.com. If you go to your mom's house podcast.com.
Don't forget to put the www.
Make sure you go www.yourmomshousepodcast.com. There's a banner at the top. It's an Amazon banner. For our Canuck friends, there's a banner on the right side, a little lower down, because the Canadians also shop.
Sometimes they buy maple syrups.
They do.
Helmets or whatever they buy.
Moose antlers. They buy guns and beer. But basically, this is the best way to support the show. If you like the show, you can just do your regular shopping. We're not asking you to buy something you wouldn't buy. We're just asking you to shop through this channel.
Correct.
And we get a little kickback, and it's a way to support your favorite podcast.
Your favorite mommies.
Yeah. So, do you ever shop on Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of stuff do you buy?
Mostly books.
Okay.
Oh, look at you, reader.
Really?
What did you buy last? What book?
I was surprised you really spit out fucking dates about revolutions and invasions like you were talking about a fucking sandwich order.
Yeah.
You were like, 55, 68, fucking Russians invaded. I was like, look at this guy over here, right?
He knew it. He
was sharp with it,
Was
man.
that the Czech?
Were you a history major?
He knew.
No, but that's something that I like a lot. And
you read.
But you know what's funny? How does this work? How did you make a deal with Amazon?
It's really fucking personal. No,
No.
There's just we have an
agent.
an agent that just like a guy would book you for a date. So we have a few sponsors. How about that shit? We have another sponsor. Do you use Spotify?
I'm not a music listener.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so busy reading books.
Wow.
Mr. fucking book smart over
That's
here.
rare, though. You don't listen to music ever?
Russell Peters always make fun of me, but
Yeah.
I like talk radio podcasts.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm not against music, it's just not.
That's where I met
Wow.
you. That's where I met you, by the way. I don't know if you remember.
At Russell's place?
I met you at Russell's old place.
Oh, wow. So it goes back.
It's a
way
while.
back. Yeah.
I came over to his house. It was late at night.
RP's house?
Yeah, and I came in with Russell, and this motherfucker's sitting on the couch eating chips. And I was like, hey, who's the fucking Asian guy sitting on your couch? He's like, oh, that's Yoshi. He didn't even look. He's like, oh, he's fucking Yoshi.
He just exists.
Yeah, so we should probably say now that our guest is Yoshi. I don't know if you have a last name. You don't have a last name, do you?
It's Obayashi, but just Yoshi.
Kobayashi?
No, Obayashi.
Okay.
But you go in the clubs and stuff. Do you go just by Yoshi? You do.
Yeah, just Yoshi.
When they bring you to the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
You know, I have heard so much about you over the years.
Can we finish our fucking Spotify read?
Through Russell Peters, and
Yeah.
nobody told me that you didn't like music. So
I know.
you know what though?
No,
If you
I
go
don't-
To our
I don't-
Website. If you go to our website and you click on the Spotify banner and you register through Facebook, it'll take you to
It's
Facebook.
so quick and easy, dude.
Yeah.
Can I tell you
You
this?
can find anything you want.
I know.
I think I've used them to listen to comedy.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I will put like Louis C.K. or Dave Attell. It'll
Okay.
pop stuff on it.
Can I tell you this? Mm-hmm. Do you have a computer?
Yeah. I'm Asian, of course.
How many computers? How many? Do you have 11 computers? Do you have 11?
I have
computers?
laptop and iPad.
Do you
have a
how many
computer in your
computers do you have in
brain?
your pocket right now? None. Do you have a computer sewn into your eyelids that tells you what white people are thinking? This is what I'm telling you. This is an awesome offer, and I'm telling you this, and it's not just because they're a sponsor. Spotify, you know, like if you look for a song and you download it, there's an audio quality level to it. It is as high. It's like you bought the album.
Right.
So Spotify, if you go through our banner, yourmomshousepodcast.com, you click it, you sign up in 90 seconds, and then you basically have a library of like fucking 3 million songs. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, probably some of the big hits from when you were a kid, Japanese songs that I can't recreate for you, but you know, they're probably on there too. Can you give us a little taste of what like a popular Japanese song was when you were
Yeah. Pizzicato 5. Remember them?
I don't listen to it. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you
You
one.
can't say one?
I don't know.
No?
Pink Lady from 79. I don't know.
Pink Lady. I remember Pink Lady.
Will you say, okay, I I need to change my diapers in Japanese.
You want me to say?
I need to change my diaper in Japanese.
Let me start you off. Diaper this.
What?
No,
I'm just spacing out. I don't even know how. I would imagine they would say that the word diaper, or kawaranakucha dame da yo.
See, just like I said.
Yes.
How about
By the way, I know about that website you're talking about because that's my friend's company. My friend's friend's company.
Your friend's company is your mom's house podcast.com?
No. Is Spotify.
Oh, Spotify. Are you serious?
Sean Parker.
How do you know everybody?
Sean Parker.
My friend David Cho.
Why do you know everybody?
My friend David Cho, who did the painting for Facebook, it was Sean who contacted David Cho. Dave did the artwork for Facebook 6-7 years ago, and they instead of taking $60,000, he took stocks with Facebook.
So smart.
So it's worth. I don't know how much it is. The New York Times said 200 to 300 million. I don't know.
Jesus fucking.
I would have taken Candy.
And what's his name?
David Cho.
He's worth 300 million now.
Something like I don't know what's the Facebook.
And he'll answer your calls and stuff.
Yeah, I mean we do the same podcast. But his friend, Sean Parker and Mark Zuckerberg. So that's the only reason why I kind of look up Spotify or whatever. I think that's his company.
You got friends in high places.
Will you say...
wait, is this a language thing to the...
No, I'm just curious. I love Japanese. I love
it's
hearing...
really rusty, like my English.
Okay, but say instead, like forget say, oh, I shit my pants again.
Oh, yeah.
In Japanese.
How about, I shit my pants. I got to wipe down.
What? Shit my pants?
Yeah. Jesus, man.
I know, the pressure is on.
Because I wouldn't say stuff like that.
I know. Well, we didn't expect you to.
I guess you don't really learn that. Well, how old were you when you came here?
I don't know. Punch ne unko shita.
Punch ne unko shita.
That's probably like really bad.
So that's roughly, I shit my pants?
Yeah, unko means shit.
Unko.
Panzu means pants.
Ponzu.
So I want some ponzu sauce in my pants. Are you guys ready to start the show?
Let's do it.
Right. Oh, so we haven't started yet?
No. This is the pre-read. I mean,
good.
I mean, no. This is.
It's in there. It's in there.
On the show. Yeah.
Here, let me grab you one.
Okay.
You sit here.
Well,
I'll do the intro.
Yeah.
Go, Tommy. It'll be fun.
Okay.
I think that's a part of leadership, is to have some of the guys that have gone before that have been disappointed to share it with everybody involved. For me, it's a reminder. I, too, have been here 23 years. And it is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
This shit is big time!
Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone love into this.
Your mom in the fucking stand!
Welcome to your mom's house with Tom Segura, and
Christina Pajitsky.
welcome to your mom's house.
Yeah. I mean, that was the show.
Yeah.
That's how the show goes. We have a little
pre-show.
Okay. That's part of the show. And then we play our music, and that means, the show's officially running now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So now, how old were you when you came here?
Let's, again, reintroduce our listeners. Our guest is a comedian, a great man.
Yes.
He defected during the hostage crisis in 1980. Mm-hmm. Yoshi. You may have seen him, doing stand-up in many different stages. You've toured with a bunch of people, right? You've toured with...
Not a bunch, but Russell Peters, Norton, and mostly Attell now, Dave Attell.
Oh,
yeah.
How funny.
What a great fucking roster that is, man. Yeah.
But Dave is the one who really makes me nervous the most because he is so critical about his shows. Like, my shit is shit. The guy's brilliant,
Yeah.
Nicest guy.
I just listened to Skanks for the Memories in the car, and he says his age. He's like, I'm 36. And I talked to Tom that night, and I was like, babe, I listened to Skanks for the Memories, which was recorded, in 03?
Yeah, or 02,
or 02,
something
whatever.
like that.
And he's my age, and he's so much funnier than I will ever be or ever dream of being as talented as Dave Attell. Like, that guy is so amazingly gifted.
He's the best, man. I think so too.
Crushes my spirit.
That shit blew my mind when I heard it. I got to work with him a couple times. It was my first feature week ever was with Dave Attell.
No,
Wow.
was that right?
Yeah, my first feature week ever. And I requested to work with him, and they gave it to me. And then he requested me the second time.
Shut up.
Like a year later, they're like, "Hey, Dave asked for you," and I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Yeah." And then the next year, I was like, "Did he ask for me again?" And they were like, "No."
BFFs. Oh.
But those 2 times, I mean, I have vivid memories. I could tell you almost everything that took place that entire week because I was so turned on. You know what I mean? Like, I was so keyed up for the experience because I was such a fan, and I was such a fan that I was writing in Dave's voice, shittier jokes, but I was like delivering in his cadence. I was even looking like I still look like him, but I was fucking. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was. I was younger, so I was newer, but I was emulating like an idol basically, and he's still to me like one of the funniest.
Absolutely, and for you to work for him for first featuring act, it's like getting called from minor league to playing for Yankees next year.
Yeah, really.
Like Babe Ruth or something.
Yeah,
you know.
man. Yeah.
Were you shitting? Because I think I remember when that happened. That was like 05 or something.
It was around. Yep, it was around 05.
Yeah.
And 04 or 05.
We just started dating. That's why I remember that. And I was
true.
so impressed. I was like, whoa, my guy's dating this.
Yeah. Opening for Dave Attell. I remember he complimented me on a joke.
Whoa.
And then I remember the next year I worked with him, he was like, I did a couple of the same jokes from the year before. And he was like, "Do you want to be an actor or something?"
Oh, he did?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I was like, "What? No, why?" He's like, "If you don't have 20 new minutes, man, you're not even writing." And I was
Wow.
like, "Oh, shit." But he was right. He was right. And I do turn over more than that in a year now. But at the time, it was all stuff I remember still. I mean, I still I needed to hear it. It was all great advice. And it was so fun to watch him work. He would record his sets on a actual cassette tape recorder.
He still does it.
With rubber bands around it.
Really?
Yeah.
Different device, but he listened to every show.
He listened to it, and he was like, he was like making notes, and he was like, "If you have any good tags or anything, like let me know." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll have some really good tags for you. I'm sure my tags will be better than your tags." And he would take jokes. I was telling somebody else this that was really impressive is that he would take a lot of times, like you have, let's say, you take the jokes that you have, and you have some jokes that are like a 5 or 6, and some are like a 7 or 8, and some are like a 9 or 10, right? Like just for the sake of the argument. And he would take jokes that would get like an 8, and he would try a new line there every night. So like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every time I'd be like, I would just be content with the fucking the 8 that you have, and he would just try a new line there every time.
Yeah, he's one of the few headliners. Most headliners you watch first couple of shows, and after a while, you already know what's the punchline and so on and so forth, right? Like by late Saturday, you've seen it.
Yeah,
but he's one of the few guys. Oh boy, he's going to set up differently, or punchline's going to be different. So I listen to every single one of his shows, and I know it's pretty fashionable to say Louis is the best comic right now. I hear that a lot, and he is great. Yeah. But man, to me, they're equally great.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
I agree.
But he's a bit of a mystery for me. I've known him for a while, but he's the only great comic. I mean, when I say great, I mean great. You still don't really know him as a person, He's the only one.
I believe you, yeah.
On stage or off stage, you mean?
Not just on stage, because you watch Louis for an hour, or Norton, especially Norton with his sexual deviant stuff. You kind of know them at the end of the show. You might make a decision whether you like the person or not, but you get to know them. But Dave is the only one out of all the great ones. That's true. And there's only a handful that he's hilarious, he's amazing, but as a person, he's always been mystery to me. And I work on
interesting.
Because it's all about the jokes. I think with Attell, it's more about the craftsmanship and the funniness and the fun of it, as opposed to like he doesn't really want to reveal Or maybe he does. He does. He kind of does.
You learn some things, but you know,
not like who's he dating or how does he really live,
or his real
kids.
opinion on something.
Yeah.
You don't really learn his real opinion. What you learn is like, oh, that's the funniest opinion on that topic.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like, you know, he'll play devil's advocate, but it's not even necessarily because that's how he feels. It's because playing devil's advocate gets him that joke.
It's the payoff.
Yeah.
He gets the joke by taking this angle. You know?
Yeah, he's so great. Even his throwaway lines on that album, you're like, that nobody laughed at that, but that was the funny.
That shit was
it's so fucking
great.
crafted. There's no fat on that album. It's just solid. There's no fat in his set.
And by the way, when you
Crazy.
say something about being 36, you'll be never funny.
Oh
I think
God.
that applies to every other comic. Believe me, you know. Like, he's just another level.
It is another
It really
level.
is.
I know. And it's funny that, like, you know, before he had his show, the general consensus among, let's say, all the really good working comics was that Dave was the funniest fucking guy.
Yes.
Now that his profile is not quite at the height that it was when, let's say, Insomniac, when he's not on Comedy Central every week, and people who don't know him or see him don't talk about him as much. He's not as much in the public eye.
It's just not as hip right now to
He's
say his name.
still the funniest fucking guy working. Like, he's still the guy that when I look on the local calendars here, if I see he's going to be, you know, I look for that. Like, I was so pissed when I saw that he was in like Brea or Irvine on a week that I was out, and I was like, fuck, I would have driven out there.
Because we did
I'd
one
buy
time.
we drove.
Remember we were dating.
P.U. Uppies.
P.U. Uppie. Yeah, that was the best line. And it was standing room only, and Tommy and I stood in the back of the room and watched Attell for like 2 hours. Oh, is that right?
That is, because
that's right. I was in Brea.
I was there, and we stayed in the back. It was full. And at the time, the manager, Dan, was like, do you want to pop in and say hi? Now, it's different. I've been doing this a while now.
Yeah.
And to me, that concept is not foreign. But at the time, I had never popped into a green room to say hello to a much more famous, you know, established like, now I would be like, especially if it was somebody I knew, I'd be like, yeah, I'll go walk in the green room and say hi. But when Dan, he goes, do you want to pop in and say hi? I was like, I think you told me, like, go say hi. And I was like, I don't know because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, what do you say?
You know what I mean? It was still years ago. And so, like, I walked in.
I still feel the same.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he talked to me and he texts me every once in a while. And I have this conversation with Russell Peters. He told me, you know, he makes obviously way more money than most of the comedians. Yeah. But he told me, like, he wished he could write like Attell.
Yeah.
Like 10% of that.
Of course. Of course. Yeah, I walked in. And I was like, hey, Dave, I worked with you before a couple of years ago. Like, I was totally... And he was like, oh, yeah, man. You're like, yeah. He's like, you want to do a guest set?
Yeah.
And I was like...
Wow.
Yeah, totally. And then, you know, I did the guest set, and I was fine. And then I was like, oh, my God, I can't believe I just did a guest set here. and the thing is, like, you know, he has those... The way he says things, like, is so memorable. He had a joke about something topical. There was a story about a lady... who had used dogs as drug mules. So they put like heroin bags into these little dogs. They fed it to them.
Yeah.
And I still remember Attell was like, they put drugs in puppies, P.U. uppies.
Yeah.
They treated these dogs like they were Mexicans or something.
Yeah.
Puppies, P.U. uppies. I mean, we said P.U. uppies
for fucking 5 years. Yeah.
Because it was so amazingly creative. P.U. uppies.
So funny,
Or he
man.
goes, remember when Brian Irwin? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Steve Irwin. Brian Irwin's a comic. Steve Irwin was killed by the stingray. And he goes, as I call them, Puerto Ricans of the sea.
Yeah.
I mean, Puerto Ricans of the sea?
I saw him
on now. God damn it.
I did the Las Vegas Festival. The festival in Las Vegas, they call it, actually. The TBS sponsored one.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 years ago. Russell had me on his show.
Yeah.
So that's why I was there. And, you know, it was massive. The fucking Vegas Festival was incredible. It was held at Caesars.
Yeah.
Like, it had...
They still do that?
No.
Yeah.
But it had Russell. It had Seinfeld. It had Ellen. It had, like, just major superstars. and Dave was doing a show, so I fucking ran and I sat there with what's his name? He's so funny. He's married to a comic too, Molly.
Shittle taters. Not Dana.
No.
Gould?
No. He writes for Tosh for the show.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. I
I
can't
know,
think
and
of his fucking
they have
name.
kids and everything, right?
Yeah. He's hilarious.
And I can't fucking remember.
Anyways, we sat there and watched, and I remember, I mean, the whole show, I was just laughing my dick off. But it was, he was like, ladies.
That's good. That's good.
Ladies. I bet you wanna fuck that Michael Phelps, huh? And you hear like there's an audible like, no. He's like, you would if you were drowning. I don't remember that. That was like, it was the Olympic year, so it was like 08.
good.
Yeah.
He is one of the few guys could do really racial stuff, and not one single person think he's racist. Like he was talking about.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And I don't know how he does it, because he was talking about midgets, and like some midgets would complain him using the word midgets.
Yeah.
So he said like, well, I guess I won't be using the word midget anymore. I'm going to start calling them floor niggers. And there's a bunch of black
Floor niggers.
and there's like probably a couple dozen black people. They couldn't stop laughing, and I don't know why. When you use the word nigger, people get upset. But something about floor and the midget, it made everything okay. And he's one of the few guys who could do that. I don't.
You're absolutely right about that.
And when he said it, sounds so natural. Like, of course, that's what you would call them. But yeah, you never think he's racist.
I'm done, people. I'm done saying midgets. They're so upset about it. I'm never going to say it again.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling them floor niggers.
Yeah, perfect. Maybe because there's like 0.0 hate inside
There's
of
no
Dave
malice
Attell.
at all with
Yeah,
him.
like everything he says. I got a friend, a midget. I call him Baby Shoes, and me and Baby Shoes. And but the way that it's everything is lightness. Everything about him. You know, there's no dark moments, I don't think. With
You know what we
him.
should do?
Maybe that's what it is.
We should talk about Dave Attell.
He's the best. We never talk about Dave Attell.
I know. He's fucking, he is
Let's
great.
talk about Yoshi.
I do that thing now, too, though, that where, like, I almost avoid, like, looking into and like, getting into whatever my idols, you know what I mean?
It's dangerous because then you...
Yeah, I don't want to fucking sound like him or, you know.
Jim Norton told me that he doesn't watch any of the Louis stuff, the movies, and TV
so
show,
good.
because he doesn't want to be influenced by it.
Yeah.
And I really never thought about it, but yeah.
I don't watch a lot of stand-up. Like, you know that I don't know, I can't tell you, other than the fact that it's so famous, I know one thing that Jim Gaffigan has ever said, which is Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know any of his act. Zero. I don't know any of Regan's act. I don't know really any of Jim Norton's act. I know who he is.
Yeah.
And I know like what he's about, but I couldn't tell you his act. I don't watch any of it. I try not to.
Phyllis Diller, one of my favorites.
Yeah, but you do.
A hip young Phyllis Diller. No, she said that she never listened to any other comedians because she did not want to be influenced by anyone else's thoughts. You know, there's two ways to do it.
I'm fascinated.
Do you really think that hurts comedians, though?
It can.
I think if like, especially if you're a fan, like I'm such a fan
so am I.
that I feel like I would get so into, you know, the ones that I like that I don't believe that I like. It's not like, oh man, and then I fucking took that guy's bit. I'm not afraid of that.
Yeah.
It's just that like comedy, a lot of times, you know, you have like just thoughts pop into your head. So it's like if you're consuming nothing but stand up from these different sources, it's like on some level, is that going to pop into your head?
And
I see.
It does because you
That's what
marinate on other people's energies and then it comes
And if you
out.
don't like, I can't tell you. I mean, I can't tell you really anybody's act right now. I couldn't tell you. I don't watch it. I don't watch anybody's. I haven't seen a
Can
special
I tell you, there's
in
a
a while.
few people, like if I'm at the Comedy Store, I will only... I really love watching Bill Burr if he pops in. Because he's always working on stuff and that's cool to watch.
Yeah.
Louis C.K., if he's there, I'll watch him. And Brody Stevens. Brody Stevens, I will watch anytime.
Yes.
I will stay until 12:30 to watch Brody.
Yes.
Because he's so weird and
It's.
fun. And
I will do that
amazing.
too, and I also feel like there's a 0% chance that's going to influence
Enjoy
me.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brody will not influence your
I saw
act.
him last
Bill-
night.
It's the best, isn't it?
Bill, I watch if I want to feel like shit about my
Right. If you want to think you're not writing,
yeah,
you're not writing.
I do watch
Bill Burr,
that.
yeah.
I will watch him because there's also like he's conceptually doing stuff that like I'm not doing that, and I also don't have his levels of paranoia and conspiracy, like all that. It's just not who I am, so I don't fear that, and I just find him brilliant. So I can watch that. But guys who I feel like, oh, I have, I have something. Somebody's phone. Somebody's fucking phone, man. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's Yoshi's. Fucking no. It's not.
Mine's off.
It is.
Ooh, you're moated. Your booty exploded all over.
But anyways, yeah. So I do feel like that.
Can we talk about Yoshi?
Yeah, that's what I want to get to. So you came here. We were having this fascinating conversation before this started. You came to the United States in 1980.
Yeah,
you're an ethnic Korean that was born in Japan.
That is correct.
Can you explain that? Because we're usually white.
How?
I don't know. That would make no sense. I was just saying.
Do you like kimchi?
Yeah, I like.
Do you like Korean barbecue? Because we eat it like every week here.
I like Asian food too.
How are you? Is there a lot of Koreans born in Japan?
I think there's probably between 700,000-800,000 Koreans living in Japan.
Are you serious?
Maybe 1 million.
Really? That's a lot.
Well, Japan. The Russo-Japanese War in 1905 basically was a war between Russia and Japan controlling the peninsula, the Korean peninsula, and Japan won. Interestingly enough, Japan bombed Port Arthur, and Teddy Roosevelt said that was a great move on Japanese part, sneak attack. Yet,
right.
Pearl Harbor, his cousin, other Roosevelt said that's a dastardly attack. But
interesting.
Now, most of the time. I mean, there's definitely nothing but good feelings between the Japanese and Koreans. I mean, there's a lot of Koreans that...
Are you being sarcastic right now?
No, I'm being completely serious.
No.
No?
No. The Japanese are the Nazis of Asia.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, I say this in my act. I do.
He does.
So I'm saying that you're not disagreeing with me. You are disagreeing with me?
I'm not disagreeing. You're saying there's a bad feeling between the two.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were saying the opposite. Sorry.
No. I'm saying that there are bad feelings.
Right.
And but now, how does...
But that's a really conflicted feeling for me because
of course.
Growing up in Japan, when you're a young kid, you really don't know the difference between the two.
Of course.
Because, you guys probably can't even tell the difference between one from another. But
that's not true. I dated a Chinese guy for 4 years, and I can tell the difference between a lot of Asian things. Tom, not so much. But me, hey, I was raised Chinese for 4 years.
She likes a little soy sauce in her rice. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean that racially.
Yeah.
Wait, can I tell you what I learned from my Chinese ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
Is that there is kind of an unspoken hierarchy, or I'd say hierarchy between the Asians. The Japanese are the top of the food chain. In terms
That's
of
what he was telling you?
Yes. He actually loved...
The Chinese person was saying that?
That the Japanese are awesome? No, because he worshipped the Japanese.
So he might be like the weird one.
Yeah.
And the Japanese at the top of the food chain, right?
That's the top of the top.
That's
the Aryan nation of the Asian
yes.
world.
All right.
You guys are like...
Right below...
Aryans, right, correct.
Chinese or... Chinese and Koreans.
Chinese they're considered dirtier and less classy.
That's the biggest
Koreans,
nation.
right? After Japanese.
It depends who you're asking. I think
Korea's awesome.
China and Korea, they have a good thing going on.
Okay.
They are like, what? You're good? I'm good. Then the Thai, Filipino, Vietnamese.
They're not even on.
They're fucking
down.
Spit.
They're
and
down
shit
at the bottom
all over
of the
them.
thing. Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Is that right?
Come on. There's hesitation here.
Okay, no. I mean, that's.
He's really Yoshi's
like,
really.
I'm trying to be careful because I've had physical confrontation with people about that stuff. So I got to be careful what I say.
Okay.
You've had physical confrontations.
So yeah.
Well, Charles Murray or Murray, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he wrote a controversial book called Bell Curve, 1994-95.
Oh yeah.
It's basically conservative, neoconservative favorite book. It's basically categorized in different race by IQ, and in that book, according to that book, and mind you, I'm ethnically Korean. In that book, the smartest people in the book, according to the book, was Japanese and Korean. I mean, Japanese and Chinese, then Korean next, then whites after that. This is a white guy writing a book.
Sorry, so we're fourth place?
Fourth.
Is that, okay.
I'll take that. I like Asians.
Asians are superior. The Japan. Have you seen? I mean, I've been to South Korea only so far.
I differ with that opinion.
And it's the future.
I will put the Jews on top.
The Jews.
personally.
I forgot the Jews.
Sharp.
Shit, they are good.
But that's not a race. That's the only problem, right?
What do you
No,
mean?
they consider themselves a race.
Yeah,
the Jews.
but they're not considered a race by
Nazis.
the scientific world doesn't consider Jews a race.
Okay.
That's a self-identifying thing. You can't be you're not a race of
I
Jews.
thought you could be religiously a Jew,
Right.
like Whoopi Goldberg, but you could be racially, you could be a Jew.
I don't think there is.
Are you sure about this? Because
I'm pretty certain
I live
that-
in Beverly Hills right now. I know a lot of Jews.
I know a lot as well, and I'm not saying it in any negative or disparaging way. I'm just saying that I don't think that scientifically there's Caucasoids, there's the
Ashkenazi.
Negroid, yeah, and there's depending on which group you ask, there's usually either between 3 and 4 or 5 and 7 different races, because the more progressed version of how many races has a different race for, let's say, the South Pacific Asian is a different race for them as opposed to the Mongoloid, which is further north and so on and so forth.
That's what you and I are.
I don't
we're
think
Mongoloids.
that either
Hungarians
of
or
those,
Huns were descendants of the Mongols.
neither of
Absolutely.
those groups considers Jews to be a separate race. I don't think so. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Well, ask
But
Europeans. Yoshi's right about that.
You could be. You could be. I think it maybe self-identify as we're a different race, but I don't think scientifically they do.
I think in general, when you have a stereotype in this country with Asians being smart, it's because they send probably the lucky and especially the best one out of Asia to over here.
Yeah.
But you go places like China, illiteracy is pretty high.
That's outside of the major cities.
Major
obviously,
cities,
like
yes.
anywhere.
So I don't necessarily think Asians are any smarter than others, but I will say I'm extremely impressed by the Jewish group because that original brilliant ideas.
Yeah.
right.
You're talking about 20 to 25% of Nobel Prize winners are Jewish.
Yeah.
Show business.
Look, it's an impressive.
The arts.
Yes.
It's an impressive group.
They are. They're amazing.
The other thing that Jews do that is brilliant, and it's almost like it's taught, but it almost feels natural, is that Jews will support one another.
Yes.
Within communities.
Yeah.
And so they'll keep you see that a lot. Like in LA, you'll find
But you don't think that's true for other groups too? Like Mormons helping each other?
I just feel like the Jews do it more effectively and efficiently. Like they really they raise themselves as a group.
Yeah.
They elevate, the entire community elevates itself. And I don't feel like other races do that very well. I think that
the Hungarians do that a little bit. Us Eastern blockers.
yeah,
The Russians.
the Chinese and the Koreans do it in LA.
Armenians,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have
the Chinese do, yeah.
the best, the real fucking racket where you can either win out or lose big is real estate. When you are let's say you're Korean. And there's a paper that's only in Korean.
Yeah, I've seen that in
a
San
real
Francisco.
estate flyer
Yeah, they do that.
about
The Chinese do that.
apartments available. Well, if you don't read Korean, which chances are you don't,
Yeah.
and you don't get this, you're never going to find out about that building.
Absolutely.
And what that lets that do, by the way, is that lets them jump around the laws that prevent you from discriminating
It's great.
renting to people.
You're 100% right about that.
So
That's
then you
awesome.
can have a building that's just stacked of Koreans or whatever race.
Yeah.
But let's say Koreans for this example, and you go well, why are the only Koreans? It's well, anybody can.
They keep it to
you can
themselves.
rent here too if you
good.
want. It's just you'll never ever find out about a vacancy until you learn Korean.
And luggage. I mean, I've twice now bought luggage from Koreans.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I was in South Korea, I bought such a good bag at a night market for $70 years ago.
Yeah.
I just threw it in the garbage. That was maybe 8 years ago I was using that suitcase. So
What were you doing there?
I was doing military tours. And can I tell you, I fell in love with South Korea.
That guy?
I would walk around. Oh. How dare you? No, it wasn't a guy. It was a never Korean. But I would walk around in the night markets, and I would just I was amazed. I couldn't sleep at night. I was so amazed by how different it was and how futuristic it was. And that's when I came back and I was like, oh, the Asians are going to kick our ass. Like, America is nothing compared to the efficiency and the cleanliness and the technology.
Yeah, they got
get the fuck out of here.
Fucking attitudes. I'm just totally making that up. Now, can I ask you this? You come here in 1980 with your whole family? Like everybody comes over?
No, my oh boy, my mom brought my brother and I over here, but we didn't know we were flying over to the States.
You didn't know?
No, we didn't know because my parents got divorced, and my mom just basically said we were flying from Osaka, Japan to Tokyo, and when we woke up next day, we're in Hawaii. Then she finally told us that my dad and my mom was divorced, and I guess technically that might have been kidnapping or something, but they brought us over here.
Technically, I think it is.
Well, I guess it is. So we went to Hawaii. We have relatives there. Then a couple of weeks later, we went to Tacoma, Washington. And we moved with one of our relatives in Bremerton, Washington, in 1980. And my mom took off. I didn't live with my mom for the next 4 years. So you know,
God.
So that's how. So I didn't know we were coming here. You know.
And when did you start doing stand up?
I mean, I did it like as a joke, like 94, 95.
Damn. Really?
I mean, I did it a couple of times. Then I got out. I was just too busy working, and then I got into porno business like 98.
Okay, let's take a step back.
So I just moved here just to get out of my family problems up in Washington. I wasn't really planning to do stand up.
But you moved to LA.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a job at the porn company.
What was your first job there? Like, what was the job you got
in adult business?
Yeah.
I was working in a place called Taboo Video in Seattle, and I was store clerk, and I worked at 3 different shops. Elmo's Bookstore, R&R Adult Toys in Bellevue, Washington, and Taboo Video in Seattle. And I started in the very bottom. I mean,
really? The bottom of the porno stores?
Oh, no.
I used to mop those booths where guys jerk off in there.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I had a similar experience here in LA. My first job. Oh, I gotta fucking.
It doesn't exist anymore where you worked.
My first job was I worked at a like a spa.
Yeah.
And the spa was actually a place where you would rent a room, but I didn't realize that when I got hired. It was my first job for like 2 weeks.
Is that a gay place?
No, it was just any place anybody could get a room.
It was like Miracle Mile, and it's called Splash, and it's not there anymore.
Yes, it was called Splash, the relaxation spa.
Hourly relaxation.
It would be
spa,
couple.
yeah.
Every once in a while, it'd be legit couples.
Yeah,
because you get a hot tub and a bed, and then there would also be people get hookers.
Yeah,
or escorts, and then there would also be gay escorts.
Absolutely.
People would hire them to do that too.
Now, I've always wondered, so was there like a peep show where the thing went up and down, and then you had to come in and mop up that room? Or?
That's a lusty lady across the street from Taboo Videos.
The lusty lady in San Francisco they have.
They used to have one in Seattle too.
Okay.
So,
you know, the place I work, people just put quarters and watch movies.
And jerk off.
But sometimes they'll take drugs.
Okay.
Sometimes they sleep in there if they're homeless.
Really?
I'll catch them sometime in the morning. They're passed out on the floor. Their hair is stuck on the floor. And because people are jerking off there all day, all night. You know?
What's the cleaning procedure? Is it just a mop and a bucket, or do you have to disinfect it?
You get a mop and Clorox. And when you start, I'm not gonna lie to you, I got really sick for a while, but within a month into, you get used to it. I'm mopping with one hand and eating clam chowder with the other hand. It's Seattle, so
delicious. The bread bowl.
Seattle. Yeah, that's great.
Smell doesn't bother you.
If it was New York, it would have been pizza. I got it. Okay. So you're working at these video stores.
Yeah.
And you come down here. Do you get a job at a store?
No. What happened was oh my my God.
It's a beautiful background.
Like that cum in your face?
Do you recognize this title? Is this something you've worked on?
This sounds really old. Doesn't it?
Old? Can you date it? Really?
No.
Sounds old, is it? It's almost like 70s or 80s movie. No, it's just
Wow. We should play that with him at some point where he could try to date or name the porn.
Wait, do you have to have it?
If you can name this, I'd be blown away.
Those two guys?
A lot more.
It sounds like one of those anabolic gangbang movie.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Look at
Yeah, I think
you.
so. Yeah.
Huh. I've done that jobs too. I have.
You're a real savant for stuff like this, you know.
No, I've gone.
I know you admire Jews, but you're pretty good, man.
I've gone to gangbangs. I had to do paperwork for them.
Really?
Yeah. So I have to make sure they're 18 years old. They're HIV negative.
How gross is a
right.
gangbang? Is it pretty
Oh,
gross?
it's got to be terrible.
It's the smell that gets to me.
That's what I've
That's
heard.
what our
My
friend is a camera guy.
Yeah, and he said that sometimes you have to get really close to get angle. And it's like the smells are what really is the deal breaker.
Yeah, he said he'll go under, underneath the undercarriage for that shot.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
the thing that knocks you back is the smell. The smell is just incredible.
You know, you guys done enough open mic to remember. Some open mics are good. There's some
Gangbangs?
No. Open mic comedy's good.
Okay.
There's some are funny. Others are bad. Well, these guys trying to get into the porn business. Gangbangs are kind of like open mic version of them.
Mopes?
Yeah, they're hoping that if they do a good enough job.
Swallow that hot cum, baby.
Wait, what's a mope? I'm sorry, I remember that.
A mope. Okay, I did that.
Yeah, a little protein for you, babe.
Tom, you gotta turn that off. Oh, it's driving me
It's
crazy.
giving him flashbacks.
1 second. I just want to.
Well, that's a lot of cum.
Okay. So the sorry about that. And by the way, if you're a listener, hey, there was some porn audio we just played. So there's a warning
Just
that
a
there's
warning.
some porn audio that we just.
You seen it after the fact. It's not going to help them.
I know. What were you just talking about?
Mopes.
Oh yeah, when I did that sizzle.
Yeah.
Actually, Yoshi set me up with a
Oh,
couple of those
that's
people.
right.
That's who you set me up with.
Christina Rose, was it?
Yes.
Did you meet her?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's in the sizzle. I should show it to you.
She's great.
So when I did it, the whole thing was in this thing I was trying to break into porn. So I was like, how can I do a scene? And she was like, I mean, you could be like a mope. And I was like, what's a mope? And she was like, they're like the guys that show up at like gangbangs and like bukkake things, and they just drop a load, but they're giving like $50. They're not
if they pop on the girl's face. You don't pop, you get no money. Believe me.
really.
So,
Yeah.
Let's go through the pay scale. So a mope, a guy.
I mean,
can pop on
I
a
had
face.
things changed a lot. So
How do you get? Because we're all over the place.
Yeah.
How did you get from video stores to an actual company?
So, believe it or not, I kind of got into business with my friend Tina Manu, comedian from Phoenix, and Brody Stevens. We went.
Shut up.
We went to our first. I went to my first porn
Yes.
convention with Brody in 1999.
Enjoy it.
You went to a porn convention with Brody Stevens?
1999. Yeah.
I
Was
cannot
he like,
imagine
this
that.
is heaven. I like it here.
No, he's not much of a pervert. You know what we were doing? We didn't even care about hot girls. We'll go gay booth and film like a funny thing where Brody would sit behind a counter, looks like he's the gay porn star, and people come up to him asking for autographs and stuff like that.
That's funny.
That's really
Yes,
funny.
you know he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll sign your cock.
Positive energy.
So we were doing that kind of goofy stuff. I thought
Okay.
was really, really funny.
Yeah.
But from 99, I started going to it every year. In 2003, I made a decision to move from Seattle to LA. And January 2003, I went to porn convention, and they were looking for someone to work in DVD department. And out of the, 50, 60,000 people visiting convention that year, I was the only one applying for it. So that's the only reason I got it. I have
Are you
no experience.
serious?
I don't have any experience at all. They taught me how to do it.
Now, okay, 1 second. So you start doing that, and then your job is to work in some type of DVD like production of it.
Yeah, I watched a movie. I put a chapter point. My job is basically to make masturbators convenient to masturbate. So I will put, Hollywood movies are based on like story chapters, right?
Right.
Each different complex new character and whatnot. My job is to give them a shorthand where to masturbate. Beginning a blowjob, penetration, in ass.
That's a real skill.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
So I have to do that because early on, my ex-boss, John Stelliano, a.k.a. Buttman, he's one of the most respected guys in the business.
Buttman. I know the Buttman series.
Of course, yeah.
He's famous in Brazil.
Buttman does Europe. Okay.
He's very famous in Brazil and Czech Republic.
Can I ask you this? This might be an obvious question, but just out of curiosity, are you a huge pervert?
Yes. I mean... I thought I was, but when I work with these guys in business, I hear a lot of comedians talk about being pervert, loving porn and stuff. There's really only one guy that really like surpassed their pervert IQ. Mm-hmm. Like the guy who is really fucking into it, know what he's talking about. And my experience has always been Jim Norton.
Yeah,
there's just no denying the guy have genius level in perversity. I mean, yeah, because. My stuff that I like is pretty vanilla compared to
So you're pretty much a standard, just red-blooded male, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I even like just hanging out with pretty girls from porno.
Yeah.
Like I like looking at fashion magazines and hanging out with.
Get your hand away from my wife.
Yes, dude. Pretty girls. Hungary is very famous for that.
Oh, I know. I'm taking a solo trip there in 6 months.
My friend that works in porn edited it for a long time, and he said that after a while, it's all the same, and you become a little desensitized.
That's the next question.
Yeah. How do you feel? Is that the same?
Are you desensitized?
I think probably I'll be watching a scene, and the only thing that I won't be noticing Belladonna's got a new lamp in her room.
I love Belladonna.
New lamp in her room.
Or they have their puppy running around the room, whatever.
Yeah.
Because, especially the ones that I know, I don't really enjoy watching them because they become almost like friend or even some of them is young enough to be my daughter. Like, once I get to know them, I don't want to watch. The fantasy's gone.
I've had that.
A lot of them are not slutty at all. They're just doing it for attention and money anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did notice. I lived next door to a porn star one time.
Who?
Taylor Rain.
Oh, yeah, she's good.
And I'd seen her before on video, and then I rode the elevator with her. But once I saw her in person, I was like, it wasn't a fantasy thing. I was like, oh, that's just that girl that lives 3 doors down. It wasn't hot or exciting.
No, I got to meet Belladonna on Sam Tripoli's show like a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. I really liked her, and I found her to be so smart and so savvy and like cool. And I wasn't expecting that because usually with porno chicks, they can be like they're kind of stupid. Yeah.
I got a BMW.
Yeah, and you're like, oh boy.
She is. I mean, I don't want to pull ESPN on you, but history of porn, she is definitely top 4 or 5 greatest performer of all time.
I love the term performers for I love that they use that term for their industry. Like, you're a great performer. You did a great performance.
Not only good performer, but she's really into it.
Yeah.
I believe that. And that's what makes a great star. I also love Jenna Jameson because she looked as though she was enjoying herself. It wasn't forced. It wasn't labored. It wasn't like, oh, this fucking hurts. Stop it. Don't touch me.
See,
she liked it.
I didn't like her later stuff.
No.
I get off on that. I also get off like when you can see in the face the girl's like is defeated, is broken, and you can tell.
You see, you're like that?
Yeah. You can see, like, you could show, like, oh, I don't have any other options. This is, I'm trapped in this right now.
The GED
this
never.
This $1,000 might help me get back to Beaumont, Montana.
So you must like that, and you're being serious right now, right?
No.
If you were, I was going to tell you to watch a guy named Contusion, and his thing is to humiliate to make the girl break down. And I hate to say it, I didn't give a fuck about what he does is you never see that guy.
Yeah,
he had a real talent to look at girl see her weakness. And he will say it to the point until he really breaks her psychologically, emotionally. Then he'll send a couple of animals to fuck her after that, you know. And
Wait.
Oh, that's a genre.
Is this the guy?
Want another beer, Yoshi?
Yes, please. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I'll
Is
grab
this
one.
the guy who there is? I don't know, obviously, as well as you do, but there's a guy who's always off camera.
Yes.
And he has kind of a raspy voice, and he's like, and he talks. He's like, why? Because you're kind of a fucking pig.
That's that guy.
Ass. That's that guy.
That's the guy.
His name is Contusion.
Yes.
Have you met him?
Yes, once.
Is he like a real piece of shit or what? It seems like it.
Yeah, and his brother's a big radio personality in a conservative radio right after Rush Limbaugh.
Seriously?
Yes. I mean, you know, because I'm out of it, I don't really give a shit about revealing stuff like that.
Sure.
There's a guy named Mark Handel.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Yeah.
I think his name is... I get the names confused. Bill Handel or Mark Handel?
I don't know.
He's a radio guy before after Rush Limbaugh. In fact, right on 9/11, they couldn't get Rush Limbaugh on air, so Mr. Handel was on air. No, it's his brother that's the big time.
But the porn guy, he gets off on just breaking them down.
Yeah.
He really likes to make them cry and all that shit.
Oh, it's coming from malicious place.
And that's just what he gets off on?
Yeah,
Is he a producer? Is that what he does?
He's a producer, and he's. I guess he used to be a big real estate guy in.
But he doesn't perform or anything.
No, you never see him.
Right.
Some guys are into that. You know, it's like, haven't you seen when you're kids? There's some kids, malicious kids who burn ants or pull wings out of flies. Like, they're just cruel.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's cruel.
These guys are like, their minds are for whatever experience. I'm not into that at all.
Neither am I. I was totally joking. I actually find it really, really not arousing to see somebody get like bullied.
But I'm not gonna lie to you. I do. Do I enjoy watching them? I can. It's like watching people getting hit by a car. I mean, I can. I do watch him.
You watch the train wreck happen.
Yeah, and
what are you into? What's your kink? What do you like?
I like. I don't know why. I have a professor friend of mine in Boston that writes about this sort of things, but I really enjoy public sex things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's at the point of bothering people. They do a lot in Budapest and Prague where people start taking their clothes off in bus and trains. So people have they try not to look, but they start fucking in the middle of a bus, and bus and train. My friend Steve Holmes and Eric Everhart, they're in Budapest, and they were in this area in Budapest where it's like huge area where national heroes and monuments.
The Hero Square.
They were there. So, you know, it's huge. There's buses.
It's a monument.
Fucking Eric Everhart started fucking this girl in the mouth and fucking her. And of course, Asian people with the camera would go up and start taking pictures. They're fucking. There is even mother standing there with their son watching it, and cops are watching for a while. And cop was nice enough to wait until it's done.
Nice enough to wait till after it's done.
We're Hungarians. We're considerate people.
Jesus, man.
And Eric was very scared, but Steve Holmes is a German performer, and he just said, "I'll take care of it." So I think Eric Everhart, he's Canadian, by the way.
Oh.
He thought, we gotta pay this guy $4,000 or $5,000, $10,000, and Steve Holmes lives there, and as a German guy, he just like, let me take care of it. He kind of talked him to that cop to take only like $50, $100.
Oh yeah, they're very corrupt there.
Wow,
that's it for fucking in the street.
Oh yeah, if you get pulled over in Hungary.
So this guy Steve is a German guy that lives in Budapest.
Yeah, in Germany, and he comes here a lot. One of the great performer, unbelievable. Yeah, because first time I saw him was about 10 years ago in Barcelona Erotic Film Festival, and you know we have conventions here, but it's nothing compared to Europeans. Barcelona, you know, he'll go up and girls will go up on stage and say, "Hey, who want to fuck me?" And the fans will raise their hands, and she will pick whoever want to fuck her and bring them up on stage. and they would try to fuck her. But, there's almost 1,000 people watching it. That's a lot of pressure. Women could fake, but men can't fake. Either you're hard or you're not. And these guys go up. But what surprised me, was a transsexual will go up and say, "Hey, you want to fuck me?" And that's sea of hands are raised, and people go up and trying to fuck her on stage. And they're just a lot relaxed over there about that sort of thing.
And are you saying, but were you tying Steve into this? Would he perform?
I saw him, first time I saw him, he was fucking this 3 girls on stage. No problem. He's hard as... And he's old school, no Viagra. He is just an old school pervert.
Real champion.
Wow. He could fuck anytime, anywhere.
But that's when he referred to them as performers. It's because it's not real sex in the way that you and I have in meaningful. The cameras, the lights, the pressure. That is a performance. To be able to get a hard on and
there's no intimacy,
right?
At all.
Not. It's like kabuki sex. It's not real, right?
Oh no.
So,
do you remember this film?
You know what year this is from?
No.
Can you tell who that you're thinking?
I couldn't even tell you.
A little disappointed. I thought this was,
She sounds tiny, though.
She sounds small, yeah. In Hungary, too, the Russians, the mafia runs a lot of it. Maybe that's part of the reason they turn a blind eye to that shit.
Oh, yeah. I was there in November. I can't even remember the famous street over there. It's a very much tourist trap. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'm walking there with my friend Brandon Iron, a performer from Canada, and we're walking there.
Great performer.
What's his name? Brandon Iron? I don't know him.
Yeah.
He used to do a thing called Slap Happy. Jim Norton loves it. He's fucking girl, and he slapped the fuck out of these girls. And I'm not kidding. It's MMA level.
Really?
Yeah. It's.
Jesus.
But some women are into that sort of things,
That's right.
They like getting slapped that really fucking hard.
My friend Sandy that used to work at Evil Angel, I'll see her sometimes Monday morning after the long weekend, and I see her, and she has a black eye, and she just say, had a great weekend. She's into that,
Yeah.
Not every woman, but
Sure. So Brandon though would fucking drop the hammer on somebody.
Oh yeah. I mean, he will only do that if she's into it.
Well, of course. I don't mean like he's just walking up to people.
Every great directors will, like Joey Silvera is a good one. He will meet a girl and talk to her and find out what she's into. He's not interested in forcing you to do stuff that you don't want to do.
Right.
It's bad for singing anyway. You could. I mean, at least I could tell spending 13 years watching these things, like when somebody's faking or they're not having a good time or borderline rapey,
That's not good.
And
I hate that.
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm not into that sort of thing, but I am jaded. I mean, it just...
Of course, you have to be. So now you're doing a lot of stand up though now. When did you start? Because you said you tried it, you fucked around with stand up in 90. Here's something that fascinates me, okay? And I don't know if this affects you the same way, but one thing I've always been intrigued by is like a foreigner coming to this country and actually getting humor. Do you know what I mean?
Like it's different.
I had this question with I was talking to Kumail Nanjiani.
Okay,
you know who
Indian
that is?
guy. Yeah.
He's Pakistani.
Pakistan. Sorry. Yeah. Well, they don't like that. They don't like that. I'm sorry.
He's not gonna like that. No, but he moved here. He moved to the States when he was like 18 or 19.
Mm-hmm.
First from Karachi to the United States, and then started doing stand up. I don't know, a couple years later. So when you start at like 2021, and I wasn't trying to say like I can't believe that like a Pakistani person can do stand-up. It was like that, our humor, it's actually being nurtured and worked on in this culture for all those years.
Yeah.
And then for someone to arrive later and get humor. Because, a lot of times, like, what I'm saying is, like, when you're, like, if you put on, like, something you think is really funny.
Yeah.
Like, say you take someone really funny. Dave Attell. We're talking about Dave Attell earlier. And you put Dave Attell on, you take the average, okay, sorry, but no other way to put it, the average foreigner, someone who arrived here, and you go, do you think this is funny? Don't you think there's a lower like people would be like, what?
I don't know, because my parents are Hungarians, right? And like my dad will come see me perform,
right?
And I know just because of he's been in the country since we've been here since 1980. He's
been here 30,
right? But since 1969, since Canada, okay. So he's spoken English since 1969.
Yeah.
But I know that the frame of reference is just not. I don't think he really understands the way that Americans do.
You know, like there's the little things.
But Yoshi was younger when he was brought here, so you really were weren't you brought up more in the culture?
Yeah, and I know exactly what you're asking me.
You do.
Yeah, and it's fun for me whenever I go back to Japan. I haven't been back in a long time, but listen to the comedy because it's funny to me. But I couldn't possibly explain to somebody who only speaks English, like, why is that funny? It makes no sense any more than English jokes make sense in that. There's no way, because sarcasm does not translate very well in Asia. Not just Japan. That stuff does not translate well at all.
Really?
Yeah, people get mad. I got in the fist fight in Japan when I went back first. For me, going back first time after moving over here was reverse cultural shock, because when you move here, people get mad at you because whatever is considered norm here is not necessarily norm in Japan. So I had to learn the hard way, you know? Yeah. So by the time I'm comfortable with the norm over here, when I go back to Japan, they get angry with me because they look at my face like I'm one of them. Yet I don't think like them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sarcasm, that they don't like that at all. Anything?
Really?
No, because especially Japanese, even out of the old Asian people, hypersensitive about making their problem everyone else's. They don't like that. They don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. So sarcasm or being, cynical and stuff, which is funny to me, but they don't like that over there. Right. I don't think.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I had a Japanese friend say that, like, even in the telling of a story in Japanese, like he would, like, let's say he did get into a car accident before he went to somebody's house, and he would start to tell the story, and judging by their reaction, he would actually like augment the story so as not to upset people.
The listener,
right? Like, because he doesn't want to make them feel bad or, like you said, burdened by this stuff happening, even though it could legitimately be a bad thing.
Mind you, I'm not Japanese, so I'm not praising them because I have a lot of conflicted feeling about Japanese and Korean people. But right after the tsunami, I couldn't. There's just hundreds of thousands of stories where people who are even injured and bleeding will tell you, "Please, don't mind me, and please think about go ahead and help others, who
need more help,
and cutting up the line, unheard of. That's just not going to happen. And millions of dollars to retrieve, and people find it in the street, they give it to rightful owner. I'm not saying that's not possible. I'm not saying that's not possible in the States, but
I got to tell you, Japanese are way better than Koreans. I mean, just based on that story alone. Just based on that story alone.
I was going to knock her in the head one day out here beside the garage because she called me retarded. I was going to knock her in the head with a claw hammer.
Okay, now you think she called me...
Okay, so this is a clip from a documentary we've been obsessing about called Stevie, and this guy says, I got mad at her because she called me a retard. Now, that's what I hear.
That's what she hears.
A retard.
A retard?
You tell me.
And I hear she called me a retarded.
What do you hear?
Okay, can I play it for you again?
Yeah, listen to it.
I'm not a good listener.
What,
can you fucking...
Okay.
Try? Goddamn Koreans.
We need a third person to...
I was going to knock her in the head one day out here beside the garage because she called me retarded. I was going to knock her in the head with a claw hammer.
A retard?
I mean, do you want to hear it again?
What are you asking me?
What's he saying? Is he saying retarded or retard?
Here, just listen. Oh, it's coming up. Retard or retarded? Did you hear it?
It sounded like retard.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Thanks, buddy.
I was going to knock her in the head one day out here beside the garage because she called me retarded. I was going to knock her in the head with a claw hammer.
Retarded?
It sounded retard.
No, she called me a retard. He's putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
But it is my second language, Tom, so I don't know.
But he's listening even more closely because it's his second language.
I don't pick up high heels, coal shovels, and beat my children.
Oh my God. Okay, there's so much I want to do with you, man. Thank you for coming over.
Yeah.
I appreciate this.
You're a great guest.
Please.
But Budapest, Unbelievable.
Beautiful, right?
How about the women?
I'm talking about women.
You are talking about women?
Yeah.
He doesn't even care about everything else.
Yeah.
Do you like the food? How do you feel about the food there?
I don't remember. They didn't really leave me any sort of impression.
Did you get laid there?
Wow.
No. I was only there a few days, but I hang out with my friends in business, and I meet all the talents there. And
talent. A lot of talent in Hungary.
I don't know what they put in the water, but Prague, in Czech Republic, and Budapest.
Yeah.
Beautiful, right?
I want to take a solo trip, just me, maybe bring a buddy.
How dare you?
And just see what's out there, you know?
But the guys aren't as cute, though, is the thing.
That's
the guys
why
are dogs.
I want to go alone.
The women are beautiful. The guys are not.
I don't know, they're physically tall and strong, so they're good for performer because they could do a lot of
Performer, I love it too.
rough scenes.
Yeah, that's what I like, yeah.
And I think that's one of the good... This is terrible because my grandparents will hate me say it, but one of the great things about communism was for that part of the reason.
That's right.
I think it really helped women there because they didn't grow with junk food. They didn't grow with a lot of entertainment and sit on their ass all day. Lack of refrigeration, so they probably had to go to the grocery store every day, so they have to walk more. But there's the raw beauty from Eastern Europe, women from Eastern Europe, they're just...
On behalf of all of us, can I say thank you, communism?
Thank you, communism. And can I tell you something else? I was just saying this to my cousin Julie, who was visiting, that our grandmother was such a hard-ass broad that, you know what I mean? Wake up at fucking 5 a.m, walk 3 miles to the mall, cooking, cleaning, doing everything, just because that's the way that she was raised. Resilience, real,
no options,
no
too.
bullshit. Yeah. And Americans are soft in that regard. I will say that.
Yeah,
I have that. I like that.
I don't know how many times I go work out with my friends, and we'll go into 24-hour fitness or whatnot, and he... We'll find the closest parking spot. We're going to go and work out, right? So what difference does it make if you park the farther? So we're going to walk anyway.
Yeah,
But that mentality, especially in Southern California, it's not going away.
I know. We got to get to this because we got to keep this going. I want to talk about. We were discussing. I was in Montreal.
Yeah.
And sometimes in Montreal, you have a good time, you party.
Good strip clubs.
He drinks and he does marijuana.
And you get fucked up. And I was talking about like when you get real, like you ever get to that point where you're like, holy shit, right? Like what's fucked up when you get like that panic level, like with weed. Mm-hmm. And you have an amazing story about when you were at the Brea Improv, I think it was.
Oh,
dude, please tell this story. Now, our listeners are all huge fans of Joey Coco Diaz. He's sat where you sat.
Oh, okay.
He's come on the show.
Yeah.
We love him. The listeners love him, and he's famous. If you follow Joey, you know that he loves his banana bread. He loves it. Mm-hmm. And if you go to some of his Brea shows, he'll slice it up, and it's strong.
Yeah.
And it's Joey Diaz strong, where like a slice is good enough for him. So you went to do the Brea Improv with him to do his show.
And
so you drive out there on your own.
I drive my own, and I'm supposed to go like 4th or 5th. And I'm in the green room, and
show started already.
Show already started. I'm almost late, and I think Joey, one of the guys, offered me marijuana. And like, I'm not a really drug person, but I don't want to be a jerk and say I don't want to be part of the gang. So I'll puff here and there.
Yeah,
I don't have anything against it. It's just like, it's not something that it's not a big deal to me. So I'm puffing, and Joey comes in and goes, oh shit, you're going to get high tonight. And I'm thinking like, I don't think so. I mean, I could have a beer and I'm okay. And I could puff a couple and I'm okay. Well, I didn't know at the time I was eating his banana bread, right? And I thought he was talking about the marijuana I'm smoking,
so
right?
You're smoking in addition to the eating. Okay.
And I had like 5 or 6 of those bananas.
What?
Yeah.
Of the banana bread?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I didn't eat anything all day, so I was
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
Just to put that in perspective for the listeners. Joey.
Oh my god.
Joey, who can handle his shit.
Yeah.
He is a chronic smoker, consumer. He told me that a slice fucks him up.
Yeah.
He eats one slice. So you ate how many? 6 or
5 or 6.
5 or 6
with beer
and smoking.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the eating is
God.
like. So when he sees you, he's like, oh, and you're like, what? You don't even know yet. You don't.
No, I thought he was talking about marijuana,
Right.
smoking the marijuana.
Oh my God.
So maybe 10 minutes later, he calls me up. I get on stage, and I think halfway through my set, I started feeling tingling feeling, and my everything I see, especially light, starts shimmering, and like, like a weightlessness feeling, right? Like I kind of pause, like, what's going on, and then I say something like, and this is during the show. Joey, did you put something in a banana bread? And the whole place went crazy, right?
Because they all know.
They already know. I don't know you could do that with marijuana. I thought you could only smoke them.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm not into.
No, it's okay. I just didn't know. So you're totally caught off, because that actually makes even a bigger impact that you don't even know.
I have no idea. So I'm talking, and my ears are hurting because at this point, Joey is laughing so loud, even though he's about 80 feet away. It was so loud, it was hurting my ears, and he couldn't stop. Like, oh my God, I'm tingling. Everybody's laughing. I mean, they're not laughing at my joke because I never experienced anything like that, right? So,
oh my God.
So they're laughing. You think it's funny. I ended up going to Garage Brea. You know that parking lot across the street from Brea Improv, right?
Yeah.
I had to sit there for like 9 hours because
9 hours?
Because when I reversed, everything was shaking. Like I'm going to run over somebody, kill somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 10 p.m. Around, I don't know, 6 or 7 a.m. I started driving out of there.
Oh my God.
And Joey will call me every 2 to 3 hours, and the only thing he does is just laughing at the other end. He doesn't even ask me. He doesn't even ask me if you're all right. He's just laughing. And by the time I got out of there,
you went to a drive-through. Didn't you go to a drive-through?
Yeah. So I was so hungry. I made an order. Then it's like 8 something, and I drive in the driveway, and I couldn't find the window, so I kept driving in circle for like 7 to 10 minutes, like
just over and over and
over, like
doing laps around it.
I don't know why I couldn't figure out where. By the time like close to 7, 8, 9 minutes, I find. Because he put his hand out a window, so yeah.
He's like, this guy just fucking got.
Yeah,
he totally was like, he just got to America. He doesn't know what the fuck. He's doing.
And I got my food. I ate, and I passed out a couple more hours at the parking lot. Then I think I got home like 11 a.m. or something. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the show was at 8 p.m. in Brea.
Yeah.
Holy
now,
shit.
what were you doing in your car? Were you just freaking out, or were you able to sleep before you got food?
I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep, and I wanted to throw up. I couldn't.
No.
But I had another experience in like 1990 or 91. I was helping a couple of my white American friends get a job teaching English in Japan. So they're visiting me, and they left early in the morning. I got up late, and my eyes were itching. So I went to my 2 American white friends' room looking for Visine. Mm-hmm. I found one, and I just dumped a whole bunch in my eyes, right? Right? So it's wet, so I'm relaxing. I didn't realize until a couple hours, late that night, it was full of acid.
No!
So it was acid, right?
In your eyes.
Yeah.
So you have LSD?
And I was fucked up for like a good day and a half. So I have, I had this gay pants.
What?
I had a gay pants where on my pants it was a pattern of women, same women over and over and over. Uh-huh. And I'm just trying to realize. I look, all of a sudden I see hundreds of women dancing on my legs. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Acid's not easy to navigate. Had you ever done acid before?
No, I'm not.
And that's a massive trip too. That's like multiple doses.
How far into it pouring in your eye do you figure? Like, how long after are you like, whoa? Like, how quickly does it hit you that something's off?
Maybe 40, 50 minutes into it.
And then do you call your friend? Like, whoa, dude.
No, because this is 1990, we didn't have cell phone back then. So I just stay home and no one was home.
Did you put it together? Did you go, oh shit, the eye drops?
Maybe a couple hours afterward.
You did.
But my my aunt used to tell me, there's a lot of crazy people in the family. You probably have a mental problem. Like she told me when I was a little kid. So I thought, am I having a mental breakdown?
That's nice that she told you that as a little kid. You probably have a mental problem.
She's always the one, because I was always a troublemaker. When I was 7 years old, I was behaving so badly. If you don't cut that shit out, I'm gonna cut your nuts off.
Damn.
Yeah, my family's Korean, so they're a lot rougher than Japanese people in Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would talk to me like this. Who tell a 7-year-old kid you're gonna cut their fucking nuts off? You know,
my parents used to tell me that. I'm gonna hit your head so hard it's gonna fall off. I'm gonna hit your head so hard you're gonna shit your pants.
Yeah.
Oh, all that. I'm gonna sell you to gypsies. Oh yeah. Hungarians are terrible.
There's a lot of them in Hungary.
Oh, they're the worst, aren't they?
Did you? That's a bad race. It's okay to be racist to the gypsies.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I don't have anything against gypsies.
This show hates the gypsies.
Jesus, this is an anti-gypsy show. When you ate the 6 pieces of banana bread, were you just in a panic in your car? Because I've eaten something before where I had like tears because I was like, I got emotional, freaked out. Were you You had to be freaking out.
My heart was racing because I here one of the reasons. It's not because I'm a good person. I was an illegal alien for a long time, so I was always paranoid about doing anything to get me kicked out of the country. So I never got into drugs in high school. All the cool kids were doing it in the 80s, but I just avoided them because I was born in Japan, but I'm ethnic Korean. Mm-hmm. So if I got caught being illegal, my relatives would tell me, you're so shitty. They used to tell me, you're such a shitty person. They won't send you to Japan. They will send you to Korea. But not only will they send you back to Korea, they will send your stupid ass back to North Korea.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, and I know growing up in Japan, half of my family support North, other half support South. It's really uncomfortable conversation.
You have family that supports the North?
Yeah. There's... those pachinko parlors, those vertical pinball machines? 85, 90% of those things are owned by North Koreans in Japan. Yeah. And money are laundered back to North Koreans supporting them. So there's like...
Why do people support the North, though? I mean, the North is such a fucking disaster.
Well, I mean, isn't it possible that we might have some Muslims that are terrorists and they support Taliban and Al Qaeda and they're living in the States, right?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like family that supports it's almost the North is so far gone. It's so removed.
Maybe they're not as informed as we are, but they have families over there. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. That's different. That's different.
And
so they're supporting their families, really.
Yeah, I mean, there are. I know in Miami they're anti-Castro, but there are family members that live in Miami. They have families in Cuba.
Of course,
so it could be very well be that.
You're completely right, and I was thinking more in terms of like they support the North, like they like
supporting
the North,
the government.
The
no, I don't think that. But
now, you a big fan of Kim Jong-un? You like him?
Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. In fact, there's a lecture tomorrow in Pasadena. There's a book called Camp 14. Mm-hmm. I don't remember this guy's first name, but his last name is Shen. Mr. Shen was the only guy ever to be born in North Korean death camp. Born and raised there. He was raised in those camps and was able to escape from there 6-7 years ago. He was the only one ever to do that. And they wrote a book about it. And
wow,
they're talking about, and I don't want to make light of what the Jews suffered during World War II, but those concentration camps lasted 4 or 5 years. Those camps been going on for the last 62 years
in North Korea.
Yeah,
their camp.
And your family's from communists, so I'm sure you have stories too. And I can't even make a joke about it.
No, there's no joke.
There are jokes, but I don't want to do them.
You're right.
There are jokes. Let's be honest.
There are jokes, but I'm saying the regime, the North Korean, I mean, the family really, but the government, they're the worst, man.
They're the worst.
The abuse that they put their own people through, widespread it's unparalleled, man. It's unbelievable.
They were brought up. Basically, Mr. Shen's family was forced to marry each other and breed kids, so they would be more slave laborers for North Korea. So this kid had no chance. And when he was 6 years old, his friend, a girl, 5 or 6 years old in a class, the teacher found her with 2 kernels of corn. I think she saw in cow shit. Stole them. They're starving. So the teacher found her with 2 kernels of corn. The teacher beat her to death right in front of everyone.
Yeah.
You know, 6-year-old girl, and because these kids are brought up thinking, well, you fucked up. You're not supposed to do that. So they just watch like she deserved to get beaten to kill.
Yeah.
And I think when he was 7 or 8, he overheard his mother and brother planning to escape from North Korea. He ratted on them. 7 months later, he was forced to watch his mom and brother get shot right in front of him. And the mom was trying to look at his face when she's getting shot to death. He didn't want to make that eye contact. But yeah.
This is Shen?
Yeah. This is
the Russians did this too in Hungary, by the way. There are stories about little kids ratting out their parents because at school the Russians would say, you know, if your parents are against the regime and all
absolutely.
this, it's very bad because, you know,
you know,
this happens.
And in North Korea, they used to go building to building with this building with apartment. And what they do is every once in a while they would take off the power off middle of the night, and they go into each room. And the reason why they did it is because if they're watching any subversive DVD or VHS, when you pull the power off, those DVDs and tapes are stuck. And they see, and that's the key with those camps. You don't only punish someone who supposedly did something wrong, whether that's true or not, but you take the whole fucking family. That's the fear.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you got caught doing something, they will take the whole fucking family.
You're gone.
You're gone. You're done.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to keep people in line,
Sure,
though.
yeah. I mean, and especially if it's all you know?
Yeah.
He's the only dad I've ever known.
You know what I mean?
That's perfect.
Very Orwellian. Very scary.
Can I tell you, is there a more informative, entertaining, and just all-around amazing podcast than the one that you're listening to right now?
Probably not.
I mean, we've covered it all. You know? I mean, this guy...
Dynamo.
He helps you masturbate. He's like a history guru. He knows all about the world. I mean, you're a well-rounded individual, man. Do you identify then as Korean? Is that who? Would you say you're Korean?
No, I say American.
Fuck
but
yeah, buddy.
But like, since like we don't consider you that, like,
No, that's the honest answer.
You really do consider yourself.
I really consider myself American. I don't like I'm a bit of a conservative when it comes to that. I don't like any of this hyphenated shit at all.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I don't feel like just because you're white, I couldn't possibly have any sort of connection. I have
that's nice.
I think that's that's something that Obama should have covered a long time ago. But I like, for me, like talking sports, that pretty much does it. I don't give a shit if you're black, Latino, white, whatnot.
Are you a sports fan?
Yeah, and I just feel like sports one of those things that like overcome any sort of difference among different people. But
it is.
I do not like African American, Asian American, Italian.
I thought you meant like I don't like African Americans.
No.
Period. And
I don't like the hyphen stuff. I think
Yeah,
just
I agree.
it's absolutely the worst thing.
I agree.
It's
Can I tell you
worse.
why? Because this country, we came here from a shitty communist country.
Yes.
And my father always said that. He's like, we're Americans. We speak English in the house.
Yeah.
We speak English in public because this is the country that you chose. You chose to live here. So knock it off with your fucking identifying with the other team. You're on this team
this
now.
This is it. And you figured out. You left one place.
Yeah.
Because it
you're
sucks.
here.
And now you're here in this great country. This is the best place.
And
People changes.
People changes.
People changes.
I agree.
I mean, I think you should try to speak English. I mean, I don't speak well, but I think you should
You
try.
speak
Speak great English.
You speak better English than
I
some
do
Americans.
think this. I'm a very socially liberal person.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
On like every issue. And I'm not like anti. I mean, you know, my mother's an immigrant.
Yeah.
So
From where?
From Peru.
Okay.
But one thing I do think that everybody should do that goes to any country is make an attempt to learn that country's language. You know, for some reason, like, I don't believe in that really hard line, like, this is, We speak English. Just fucking get on board. I don't believe in that shit. But I do feel like if you do move here, you should make an
learn
effort.
over time. Like, I didn't speak English first, but then you fucking learn, as did my parents.
Make an effort.
Yeah.
Make an effort.
Yes.
It's the same thing because for some reason, I don't know why that's considered like... That's what.
But when white people see minorities think they're being racist.
But it's not racist.
It's not racist.
And
They're stupid. If you live here... Look... If you move to China, Chinese people, you better fucking learn Chinese.
Right.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you move to Paris,
are you fucking stupid?
You move to Paris and you plan on going. Well, I'm just going to say "parlez-vous anglais" to everybody.
Nah,
you're not going to get along very well. It's not going to happen for you. You're going to make the effort. You got to.
On contrary to people who, this is the part that bugs me. Like people who are born here are so negative with America because I'm from another country, and I think you probably feel the same way. I see so much more positive thing over here because every time you hear any sort of news about racial stuff, it's silly to me because vast majority of the time people get along. And if you don't like somebody, you just don't talk to them when you're hanging out. But only reason why you don't hear this racial stuff in France because they don't have as many different kinds of people there, so they don't have to deal with it. But for me, it works fantastic here.
The other thing...
I like it over here. It's vastly superior to most other places. We could do things better, but I feel racism more so overseas than here.
People changes.
That was an accident. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you to the point where it bothers me that one of the things that sells articles, stories is people love racial conflict, and the media loves a racial conflict story, and they'll run and jump on anything that happens with race, which does happen. But what they ignore the fact that there are so many great racial relationships in this country. There's no such thing as a story about how many interracial friends there are, how many interracial marriages, children, relationships, businesses.
Absolutely.
And what they don't point out is not only how good a lot of that is in this country, but how when you go to other countries, I've been to South America, all over South America, Australia, Western Europe, and Northern Africa, and I've found open racism to be not just like something that happens, but like the norm, like an accepted thing. And the racial stories never make it to their newspapers.
They don't know any better.
Yeah,
but it's not a big deal.
But then people will act like in this country that we have like the worst race relations, and I want to be like, no, I don't
believe that at all.
Yeah,
no, they'll murder you
way
in other
ahead
countries.
of other people.
Yeah.
We have more experience dealing with it. Like I go to Europe a lot, and I think the blame goes both ways with Muslims and non-Muslims over there. But I just think the whites feel a little uncomfortable. Like I go to Netherlands a lot, and because they used to be colonial power, so they feel really weird telling the Muslims that they should learn Dutch language and Dutch way of living, and because they have such a generous welfare, a lot of them don't have to look for. If you have to look for work in Netherlands, you have to learn the language. How else are you going to get the damn job, right? But if welfare is taking, if they have too much welfare, they take incentive to work hard and change and adapt to that country. So they're in a really weird stuff in Europe. Whereas over here,
Which country, in your experience, who's the most likely to give up the anal? Which girls are in what country is anal
That's a really
standard?
good question.
He's really thinking this. Look at him.
I'm a little biased because in Europe, most of the women I meet, because they're in business, that they feel like they have to do them.
And I feel like they should all have to.
Mandatory anal. I feel like anal has become a mandatory part of everyday pornography, whereas in the 80s, the pornography I grew up watching, and you did, it wasn't mandatory. A lady didn't have to go
The Europeans,
anal.
though. Europeans are really into it.
It's just par for the course now.
I could be wrong, but I think some of it is... Let's be honest. Guys who get laid all the time, I'm sure they like porn, but they don't necessarily depend on porn as much as guys who don't.
Yep.
And I think the guys who don't get laid all the time, they depend on porn almost like vitamins. Right?
Like
vitamins. Like they're not actually getting food, so it's kind of like vitamin, but you should, but so there's a lot of resentment against women, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So one other thing they resent is when women fake during sex. You can't fake when you do anal, right?
That's a really interesting point because
that's why a lot of the old school pornographers wanted to fuck women in ass for two reasons. One, women can fake, and a lot of those guys that I met have a really weird homosexual, bisexual kind of tendency too.
Sure.
A lot of the performers do.
Not a lot, but there's some of them. I could tell.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I'm proud of. You know, if I do a resume right now, what could I possibly add there? Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Only one special skill I've learned in 13 years of working business is you show me a guy from waist down, I could usually tell whose dick that belongs to.
Really?
Wow. That's interesting.
You can identify guys.
Not every one of them, but like I've been in a situation. One of my friends work in a movie, and I just see a dick, like, oh, that's Brandon Iron's dick, or Eric Everhart's dick, or Mandingo, or Lexington Steel, or whatnot.
Oh, Lexington Steel.
So that's pretty impressive. That's a skill. Would you?
It's a useless skill.
I beg to differ. Would you? I really wish we could pull up like a screen of dicks right now.
I know.
So you can really can you identify women by their parts too?
That's a tougher
one.
Yeah.
But the dongs, you remember them.
I mean, there's not a lot of them.
Oh, that's why.
That's true.
How many?
But you know, there's a lot of cheaters now because Viagra really changed the business. You know, but before,
how many dicks do you know just by like you see the dick and you go, that's fucking Johnny? How many can you do that with? You think? Love when you stop to think about this stuff.
I know he really considers.
I like it.
These questions, and it's really, very admirable.
Yeah.
Probably 50.
You can identify 50 dicks.
There's not a lot of performers.
No.
Wow, that's really impressive, man. That is.
And if you let me taste, I could tell you 100%.
Now, I'm a huge fan of Rocco Siffredi. Have you worked
he's
with
one of
him?
our director.
You know, I had a conversation with him backstage at Russell Peters.
Yeah.
And he married a Hungarian lady.
Yes.
And I love Rocco. He's wonderful.
She is gorgeous.
I bet.
I mean, she is unbelievable.
Well, Rocco's nothing to throw dirt at.
Lucky lady to have to come home to that's a nice man to come home to.
I like Rocco. He was very. He had some nice stories.
I wasn't there, but Ron Jasso was there too as well, and he told me a funny story. There's some hot chick with her boyfriend there, and Rocco just went up like to her like because during the conversation he said something like, "Well, you know, if you really want to get fucked for real, I could teach you how to fuck." And he's saying this in front of her boyfriend or husband. And, you know, I won't charge you anything. But I could take you to a hotel and give you a fuck of the life, right? And in a funny, weird, perverted porn star logic, he meant well. Yeah. He meant very sweet. But the husband, you know, he was really angry.
I don't understand. Why?
He was angry. And he's trying to drag her. And she was like, was considered like fascinating, like, wow, you know,
yeah.
Because for a man to be that confident, and I've seen him for years, he definitely is one of the greatest.
He's one of the better ones. He's
performer
a
and a star for sure. He's a huge star in Europe.
Europe, yeah.
My wife's a real big fan.
Star quality. Rocco has star quality, just like Jenna Jameson. Star quality. Belladonna.
He's
star quality.
a good-looking guy for the business. Right?
Handsome for the. Listen, us ladies don't have much to look at, so when you get a Rocco Siffredi on screen, it's a big deal. You notice, like, wow, that guy's not a disgusting pig animal.
Yeah.
Or obviously a homosexual.
And let's be honest, nice piece of equipment he's got on him.
It's a massive equipment. Yeah. He's very charming. I think in so far as who is. He's kind of like the Michael Jordan of the porn.
Yeah, I would say that too.
I've got his posters on my wall.
But if you're talking about like the Mike Tyson of porn, it's Nacho Vidal.
Oh yeah,
that motherfucker is just crazy.
I don't know Nacho.
I've seen that guy.
Nacho Vidal.
Is he Spanish?
Yeah,
I love it.
His first name's Ignacio, but they call him Nacho. But he was Rocco Siffredi's prodigy. You know, He was doing 3 live show at the Six Club in Barcelona in early 90s. Place called Baghdad, believe it or not. And he'll go up 3 times a day, fuck front of audience, no problem. And Rocco found him. But Rock
was like, hey, there's something about you, kid. You can really do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't give up.
Your dreams
I've
are about
seen
to
you
come
dance.
true.
You're going to stop dancing now?
Some people think Rocco's really rough with him, but I think the roughness
say
come
rough.
from him being really passionate.
I agree. That's what I like about his performance. He means
He love it. He want to eat her ass out.
Yes, passion, amore.
He will fuck old ladies. He doesn't give a shit. I've
seen some of it though, where it definitely has crossed. It has crossed your threshold for rough, for sure.
I don't, because here's the thing. I like consensual fun.
Yeah.
And I don't like to see pain on a woman's face.
But he
doesn't do it
He
for
has
me.
done rough as fuck scenes.
Yes, I've seen those too.
I think the
on
roughest thing that
internet.
he's ever done with an English girl named Kelly Stafford. Mm-hmm. And
Kelly, isn't she like a real actress?
she's just a porn star. And
Kelly Oxford.
No, she's on Pushing Up Daisies. I've seen it.
no. Funny reference. She said during one of the movies, the only way she'll ever get off is if Rocco fuck her to death. Not literally, literally. Like he need to beat the fuck out of her, you know. And I met her, and she's one of the 3 women in business just intimidated the fuck out of me. She said, "Oh, hello," and she just grabbed my balls, you know, and like put me to my place. But yeah, Rocco and her, those are some of the roughest. It's kind of like that 1992 Dream Team when Michael Jordan's team.
I love when you do this. Yeah.
When I don't know if they ever taped, but it was the greatest NBA play. Mm-hmm. Their first time for the NBA players to play in the Olympics. So they separated that team into 2 groups, and they're playing. And Michael Jordan, to this day, that was the greatest basketball team. 2 teams that ever played each other. It was really rough. They even wrote a book about it. Rocco and Callie's fucking is like the dream team fucking.
And
because
you sound like Bob Costas wrapping up a segment about the Olympics.
I know.
Just the way that the 92 Dream Team played each other.
No.
The best of the best. When Rocco and Kelly fuck, the worlds collide.
But can I tell you, I don't know. I feel in terms of roughness for the ladies, I've seen Belladonna put the big end of a baseball bat in her asshole.
Yeah.
Now, that's not something you see every day. At least I don't.
She have.
That's rough.
She is perverted, and her physical, her ability to take a lot of beatings, and she's into it. She used to date Nacho. That's the thing.
Okay. Wow. Now we've come. Okay, that makes sense.
So.
Yeah.
Somebody, I think you
She likes the Latins.
might be Googling a name or two after the show.
Nacho and
Nacho Donna.
Nacho.
That's their baby.
Nacho and Belladonna performing. That might have been the greatest.
See?
Couples. That could have been Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt of the porno.
Wow.
Now I think all right, we're done. I love the way we weave in and out of communism and death camps
And pornography.
and then the porn. It's really
You're a great guest.
This
You got to
is
come
fucking
back
fun.
again. We have
do
to
this
do
again?
this again.
Oh yeah, I love talking to you. It's so funny that I'm actually having conversation
Stop
with you
looking
because
at my wife.
feels like we met a long time ago.
I think we have.
Maybe in one of your trips to Budapest where you were fucking scouting
Maybe.
sluts in the town
At
square.
the Hero Square.
All right. Well, I just love having you.
Yeah, you gotta come back. Oh, this is the best part of This is so much fun. This is Would You Rather, a little segment we do.
You know how to play Would You Rather, right?
No, what is that?
Would You Rather is you're given 2 scenarios, and you just decide. You tell us which of the 2.
Right.
They're both usually undesirable.
Okay.
Which you would choose and why. That's how you play Would You Rather.
Oh, no.
Maybe we should start them off with the old classic, or should we close on that?
Let's close on the classic.
Close on the classic?
Because
All right.
I think that let's warm you up. That's kind of the
Advanced?
Michael Jordan of
Would You Rather.
Yeah, so
Okay.
let's start with the minor leagues.
Okay.
All right, Yoshi, would you rather for an entire month not brush your teeth? No toothpaste, no brush, nothing to clean your mouth for an entire month.
Okay.
Or every time you take a shit, you wipe with your bare hand.
Wipe with my hand.
Really?
Yeah.
You said that with
Really?
no hesitation,
There was
no
no pause
thought.
there. Why?
Yeah.
They do that in Asia anyway.
Barehanded. I know the Middle East does.
Middle East, yeah.
When you say they, do you mean I do that at home?
I'm pretty sure when I was visiting my grandmother in South Korea.
Really?
She just put her hand into her shit ass?
I think when we ran out of paper or some whatnot.
And then you just wash that hand.
Sometimes not in the Middle East, they don't
human
use soap.
shit really sticks into your hand.
I remember doing that because when I was visiting South Korea in the 70s, they will have guards because they were constantly afraid of North Korean attacking. I remember all of a sudden they turned off the whole fucking light. I couldn't find the toilet. It was someplace in the bathroom. So I remember a couple of times using my hands to wipe my ass. Yeah.
Ooh.
And do you remember that even if you can really scrub, and if you get that hand up near your face, you can smell that shit for a couple days. It sinks. Something
Human
about
feces.
I'd rather do that than not brushing teeth.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would you do, Jeans?
Oh, fuck. I mean, here's the thing. Every time I take a shit lately, I got to shower immediately. It's just travel dumps, and I eat a lot of Korean and Vietnamese cuisines.
Yeah, we like the Asian flavors.
I love sriracha. I put on everything.
What's that stuff Dave Attell used to say? Have you ever had a shit that you have to wipe your ass on your legs?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another Attell. You have to wipe the back of your legs?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Do you do the road with him then? Do you go on the road with him?
I was going to tell you I'm working with him in Brea in October, but the whole month of October I work with him.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
We're going to come see you in October.
Come down. We'll put you guys on the show if you want to.
You don't have to do that.
No. He liked that anyway.
Okay. All right. I would...
Wait, I didn't even give you my answer. You blew right past it.
No, I didn't.
That was very disrespectful, Tom.
In fact, I want you to guest spot, so he will put you on the show. You should go on the road.
I would love to do a guest spot.
He's a really good teacher by being a good example.
I believe you. Now, what is your answer?
I'm gonna wipe my ass with my bare hand because as in Asia and in the Middle East, it's kind of common practice. But I would have to wash my hand immediately.
Yeah.
Like with a lot of soap and Clorox. How about you?
There's not even a fucking doubt in my mind. I wouldn't brush my teeth for a month.
Really?
There's no way these hands can handle this ass. The shits that come out of me are other level epic. I mean, I would just be covered. I'd have shit fucking down to my elbows. It would look like I just came from a murder. Like there would just be brown
and red.
Fucking red. Yeah, it would be a disaster.
But you'll have a more new German fan base.
That's true. No, I'm definitely using toilet paper, and I got some funky fucking breath for a month.
This is a really funny question. Okay.
All right, well, you do the other one, Christmas Day.
Okay. This is the OG of Would You Rathers. This is what set off Would You Rather.
Okay.
It's Christmas morning.
Okay.
You're with your family.
Right.
Pretend that you're Christians.
Okay. Okay.
You guys are all gathered around everybody.
Right.
Your siblings, aunts, uncles, parents, everybody's there.
Okay.
That's the point, okay? Now, the tree is over here, and you're about to open presents. Right before you open presents, everybody's like, let's open presents. Yoshi goes, hold on a second. I want to make an announcement. Everybody come with me to the living room.
Right.
And you sit the entire family,
right,
all of them in front of the television.
Yeah.
And you put in a DVD.
Right.
Would you rather have that DVD be 10 homeless women masturbating, and they squirt onto your face and they scream while they do it, like they do the like that kind of thing, and they just shoot, and they're homeless, they have scabs,
smell, it's not
they're filthy, and they're just scabbing, and they're shooting it all over your open mouth. Or you look at the camera and you just masturbate to completion, and then when you're done you go, Merry Christmas everybody.
The homeless ladies.
See, me too.
Now tell me why.
Because I could still pass off as a joke, but showing me jerking off, that's a tough one.
I like that it's a joke. You're like,
well,
this is just a joke.
Come on, it's a joke.
Yeah, because you don't have to assume responsibility. I think
I could say like, oh, it's our own DVD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a DVD where I'm masturbating, right?
Because I think the psychology is: would you rather assume responsibility, which is masturbating, or be shameful about that and let someone else
put it on someone
now,
else?
if you would have told me if I was jacking off the naked picture of my grandmother, then
Jesus,
that one's a roughie. There you go, Tom. You would take masturbation, right? The masturbation video.
Really?
You're jerking off.
I would jerk off myself.
I would rather have 10 homeless guys bukkake me than masturbate in front of my family.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a psychological question.
I would jerk off. And I would go, Merry Christmas, everybody.
So gross. And your sister, oh my God, Tommy is jerking off.
Is there another one? Is that it?
Here's one. Okay, this one I just thought of today, too.
Oh, okay.
Because I hate this so much.
Drop it on us.
Would you rather spend 8 hours a day in traffic and you wake up at 7:30 in the morning, you get on the 405, and you just fucking park there? It's 8 hours of just that awfulness.
Right.
All you do is
you're in traffic. Heavy, awful
the
LA
kind
traffic.
that you want to fucking blow
your brains out, yeah? Or you have to go on Twitter and read every single tweet that Kim Kardashian's ever done and Paris Hilton. Really read the thousands of them and be the biographer of these two and really get to know all of their innermost thoughts and write a biography.
You're an expert. You're
an expert on
that's
the
who they go
I'd
to.
rather do that Twitter thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
But when they need, if anybody's like, what about Kim Kardashian? They go, well, let's go to Yoshi. And you're the expert on the Kardashians.
That kind of stuff doesn't bother me.
Really?
Because you know, I think when you were asking me how do I know people in such a higher up places in the world, it's because I have nothing to offer them except weird, eccentric stories.
Gotcha.
So sometimes whenever I'm overseas, they will ask me a question about pop culture, and I really don't have anything against those two girls. I think they're very successful business people.
They are.
They're very successful, and I think Kardashians is even more clever because with Paris Hilton, it was just about her, but Kim is, in my opinion, genius because she didn't just put on herself; she put the whole family. So any given time, she might not be popular. Well, somebody other member in the family will pick up the whole group.
Right, but I'm just saying that their thoughts are so dumb, though. That's the problem.
It could be dumb, but I find it fascinating. I met one. I think I met one or two at the Tonight Show, but I'd rather do that than sit in the traffic. I hate traffic.
No, it's torture.
I fucking hate it.
Unbelievable. Dude. I thought I liked you. So you answered that.
Well, that's all I got.
That's it, man. That's going to be our show for today. I want to thank Yoshi.
Thanks for the invite. This really was stress-free. It was really fun.
We enjoyed.
Because some podcasts, it just seem like they're confrontational.
No.
Some of the radio show, is this going to be one of those? But
but this is a way better show.
Absolutely, it's fun to listen to, and
it's a fun time, man. And the listeners are going to love you. Where can they find you? Anywhere online?
Just Facebook. I have that Comic Without Borders shit that I did with Russell Peters, but I'll be back. I'm going to Afghanistan soon.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. When?
September 18th to 26th.
It's really nice there. You've got the sun and the sand.
It's a really beautiful place.
So you both went?
No, she went there.
It's pretty terrible. Have fun.
Are you?
I'm not going for USO. I'm just going for vacation.
You don't have a
enjoy yourself. Enjoy it. Taliban.
Brody Stevens.
Blowing it up. Do you have a Twitter account?
Yeah, it's twitter.com/Yoshi Obayashi.
Right.
.com. It's bad. I should have thought.
Just never say that again.
Just put Yoshi in stand-up comedy now. It should pop up someplace.
Just go to Your Mom's House podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we'll put that shit on there for you.
We'll put it on there. We'll put it in the posting for the episode. Go to yourmomshousepodcast.com and you can see our dates. We're gonna be. Actually, by the time when does this air? Next week. Well, we'll be in South Africa. Yeah. So
for real?
For real.
Yeah,
good for you.
Festival.
So come see us in Durban or Johannesburg
if you're in the area.
And the next few episodes will also be airing while we're there. And that's that. Thank you for listening. We love you.
Love you, mommies.
Bye, Jeans.
Bye. Pull them up.
Look at this face. What do you see? Look at it, Dad. What do you see? What do you see? Say it. Say it.
Well, it's a face.
Yeah, but what kind of face?
Pale, pasty, psychotic.
No, Dad. It's a neatly chiseled, well-groomed, drop-dead, handsome face. Sparkles, professional male model. Sparkles, professional male model.
You must be another handsome boy graduate. Oh my God, they're gorgeous. You must be another handsome boy graduate. Oh my God, they're gorgeous. You must be another handsome boy graduate. You must be another handsome boy graduate. You must be another handsome boy graduate. You must be another handsome boy graduate.
I'm gonna become a male model. I'm like a rough diamond that just needs a little polishing, that's all. And that's exactly what Handsome Boy Modeling School's gonna do for me.
Oh my God, they're gorgeous. You must be another handsome boy graduate. You must be another handsome boy graduate.
Handsome Boy Modeling School wants handsome fellas to train to become successful male models. Bring your beautiful face and a check for $60.